episode 41 of the Gilded City to the Lost Kingdom. We're gonna do this rapid fire because we started recording, except we didn't start recording. So we are officially recording now. Leave us a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave us a comment below to let us know if the like button or the subscribe button lit up. I've heard a lot of people talk about it in YouTube videos. I've actually seen it once or twice myself, but not every time. So anyway, let us know if it actually happened. Follow the podcast as well. Thank you, podcast listeners, for your support. Follow us on social media at RollersGuild DND on Twitter, Instagram, not Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into tonight's episode. Content warning. Ravenloft as a setting can feature disturbing themes and ideas, and while it is never going to be our intention to upset anyone, it is worth noting. Specific tags can be found in the description of this episode. Last time, after spending a day shopping and recuperating from their latest ordeal, the party set back out into the mists with Darkon as their next destination. However, while in transit, Jinarra found herself growing increasingly paranoid and consumed by the sounds from her nightmares of people dying in flames. Eventually overcome by the draw of the sound, Jinarra sprinted the wrong way into the mist. The rest of the party followed her and found themselves brought into her nightmare, facing Fear Kindler. But a clutch divine intervention from Elina revealed that in truth, Jinarra was not being tormented by the real fear kindler, but by an entity called Morpheus. Upon the Raven Queen's threat, Morpheus agreed to leave Jinarra alone from now on. Jinarra then was able to reconnect with the celestial spirit Hope that she had bonded with in the first campaign. Hope warned her that soon her friend Elina would face a trauma she had never truly recovered from, and that Jinarra should be ready to help her. As the message was delivered, the party stepped out of the mist and arrived in Darkon. So, that is where we left off.
Does the city of Darkon sit upon a cliff?
So this is not the city of Darkon.
Let me see if I can do it. The town village of Darkon sits upon
the Darkon's the name of the whole domain.
Oh,
okay. You don't know the name of this village.
I'm doing great already. There's a village. It sits on the edge of a cliff. There's staircase going down the sides of this steep hill, almost a cliff. There are 3 different tiers to the city with
multiple tiers. I didn't specify
multiple
the number
tiers
of
to the city. I have a terrible memory, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. So the nearby village, built on a very steep incline, almost a cliff. Many tiers of houses, wood paths and stairs spreading throughout. There are multicolored lights all along these paths here. There's also the smell of sulfur that you can all sort of sense as you come into this space.
Smells like eggs.
Yeah. There are very hardy trees clinging to the rocky ground beneath you. And there's all the houses here seem to be made of wood, and they all have various species of lichen and ivy growing on them. You appear to be roughly at the mid-level of this very steep incline of this community. Down below you, you can see the sea. and above you see the homes eventually stop. But there are paths that continue up to caves that you could actually see in the hills above you. Trickling down the hillside are very small streams of water that occasionally gather in shallow pools. And as you pass by one of the pools, you realize that the water is the source of the sulfur smell. Elina, as you look around this new place, you realize you saw it in a vision back in Falkovnia. Perched atop one of the nearby lantern posts is a raven that lets out a loud caw and then flies lazily down the path, landing atop another lantern post further down, and it's like looking at you, almost expecting.
What is everybody else doing right now?
I would imagine looking at the surroundings.
Yeah.
Looking at
Is
our...
this a happy looking community?
As you enter, I mean, it looks fairly calm. There's not a ton of people that are out and about, but you do see one person, like an elven man, holding sort of a wicker basket, is walking down, one of these nearby boardwalk paths, and he sort of looks over to you and says, hail, travelers! Welcome to Nevuchar Springs.
Never
thank you.
Springs.
And I did share the map of Darkon with you all last time in chat, I believe.
Oh yeah, definitely didn't say that though.
So you should be able to locate Nevuchar Springs on that map. It was a couple times ago.
like in
But anyway, he says, what brings you all here? As if I couldn't guess already, you are of course here for the springs, yes?
Sure.
does that bring a lot of people around here?
It's the only thing that brings people here. As they say, never wait to wash away the old you.
That is what they say, isn't it?
Does that,
Always
does that
hearing that.
work?
As this is happening, I'm just gonna like walk away from the group over towards where the raven is.
As you approach the raven, it caws again and then flies further along down to the next lowest tier and lands on another light post.
I will
Um,
continue to follow it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be sneaky or anything.
Okay.
So
So the
we-
rest of you would notice Elina seems to be sort of walking away. But this elven man says, well, I shouldn't keep you all. Enjoy your stay. And I hope you enjoy the bountiful gifts of the springs here.
Thank you. If travelers were to look for lodgings, where might you recommend?
Oh, yes, of course. Well, the Cascana Sanitarium, which is where all the spas are, they do have the spas there draw water from the springs themselves, but you have a select few rooms, or that's sort of the main place where travelers stay when they're visiting. But any number of people here, I'm sure would be willing to give you a place to stay.
Oh, the sanitarium. Okay. Thanks.
It's a spa, that's just the name of it. Anyway, I must be about my business, and you all please enjoy your wonderful stay here.
We're sorry, real quick. Is there anything? What's the deal here? Is there anything spooky? Ghosts, zombies, murderous spirits that will come and eat our toes? I don't know.
We've seen a lot.
I shouldn't think so.
Okay.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Insight check.
He is all of those things wrapped in one.
He
I
is
am
the Dark
processed.
Lord of the realm. 15.
21.
15,
Oh.
21. 15's not gonna get you anything. With
Fair.
a 21,
I'm also like trying to keep an eye on Alina and make sure
yeah,
she doesn't
with a
get
21,
too far away.
you clocked that there's an edge of anxiety to his voice in response to that question.
All right. Well, good day.
Elina has already gone down to the next sort of tier. Elina, you see the raven sort of cocks its head and then proceeds to fly to the right. And land on another lamppost a little further down.
Okay, I'm gonna look back and see if anybody's following me.
I would say
I-
Nyx
yeah.
has just gotten to the top of the stairs.
And then I'm gonna turn and follow the raven
Great.
yet again. Continue.
Start following them too.
Yeah, I guess we go after
Yeah.
our cleric. Can we
Um,
see any exploded castles anywhere?
You think
No.
that'd be pretty prominent.
Yeah.
You cannot
Castle
see
mid-explosion?
you cannot see a castle mid explosion.
That's unfortunate.
Keeping my eye out.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll scurry after.
Great. So you all sort of follow Elina. Elina is well ahead, but you all are managed to keep sight of her. And you keep Elina, you keep following the raven through sort of the twisted wooden paths of this community. Until eventually the raven stops at a building. Everybody else catches up. This building's made of wood, just like everything else here in the town. And the raven is perched atop this sort of wooden sign above the door that just simply says apothecary. And lets out one last caw and like pecks at the sign.
Do we see said raven, or is Elina just walking?
Everybody can see the raven.
Okay. Is this your god again? She looks different.
I don't think so.
Bowman's gonna pull out some breadcrumbs he just has in his pocket. Just throw it towards the raven.
The raven like swoops down, grabs the bread, and then lands back on top of the sign. Looks at Elina expectantly.
You're
Do
very
you know
powerful,
this? Do
very
you know
hungry.
this raven? Is it a good raven? Is this a good omen?
Well, for me, ravens are never bad omens.
Well,
I
that's good.
suppose in some cultures they might be seen that way, but what does the sign say?
It just says apothecary.
Is there a window to look into?
Yeah, there are little windows. You sort of peek inside. You can see what you might expect to see in an apothecary. You see all sorts of like plants and herbs and stuff in various shelves and like bottles and jars and that sort of thing.
Looks like an apothecary.
Suppose we could go in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Your god just saved us, so.
We're gonna go in.
As you enter, there's a ding 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 of a bell above the door, and you all are in this sort of it's not a huge space, but you're in this decently sized apothecary room. And you hear a voice call from the back, I'll be with you in just a moment. Few minutes pass, and eventually an elven woman emerges from sort of the back room. She's got blonde hair that's sort of up in a messy bun. And she is sort of carrying a box, and she says, isn't looking at you all initially. Yes, so sorry, how can I help you? And as she looks up and her eyes look at all of you, and then they land on Elina, and her mouth gapes a little bit.
Do I know who this is?
No, you've never seen this woman before in your life.
Scary.
She sets the box down. Excuse me. Hello. I'm Calanthe.
Hello.
Hi.
You. I'm so sorry. What is your name?
Elina. Do we know each other?
No. I had a vision of you.
A vision.
She like looks
Are you
sort of.
a seer or?
She looks sort of around you all out the window. Goes to the door, opens it, looks outside, and goes back both directions, closes the door again. You serve the Raven Queen?
I do.
Then my prayers have been answered. Let me make you all some tea. Excuse me.
Sure.
Have a oh, follow me into the back. She leads
Elina,
you
are
all.
famous?
Yeah, she walks away,
No?
and you all can have a minute to talk before following.
Do we know this woman?
I've never seen her.
You've got a fan.
What
Now,
happened?
fans sometimes can be a little much. Don't do anything without compensation.
Would we say the Raven Queen is like well liked? Like, are we happy that this woman knows you, or is she gonna try to kill us?
She's not the most commonly worshipped figure.
It's a shame. She seems incredibly powerful to me.
I suppose we can just see what she wants.
And maybe we can get some soap while we're here. I think Bowmin smells a little bit.
I have
Actually,
so much soap for you still.
I'm still trying to wash up the suds for when you had my bottom.
There's not enough soap in our inventories.
You all follow Calanthe into the back. And there's a small sort of kitchen back here and table you all gather around. She's making, busying herself heating up water. And she turns to you all and just says, I'm so sorry. My manners, of course. I'd love to know the names of the rest of you as well.
I'm Bowmin.
Penny.
Nara.
I'm Nyx.
Artemis. Sorry, did you already tell me your name?
Calanthe.
Calanthe, yes.
Calanthe, literally 2 seconds before I answered. Sorry, I was Googling types of soap.
Well, welcome to my humble abode. Welcome to Nevuchar Springs. What brings you all to this place, if I may ask?
Sightseeing.
The springs.
Springs in exploration.
Can I detect thoughts on her?
Yeah.
19.
Okay. She says, well, yes, that is what we are famous for, I suppose. Detect thoughts for you, Penny. Sort of buzz at the top as like before Nyx asks that sort of you cast a spell around the same time as Nyx asks that question. So the first thing you sort of get before she's fully registered the question is finally someone can stop the madness that's taken hold here. And then as Nyx asks the question about the springs, she immediately thinks of gets like sad.
Uh-oh.
What's up with the springs?
Well, we'll wait until we've got some tea. Bad news I feel is best delivered with something hot in your hands.
Oh no.
Well, we get a lot of bad news and no one ever gives us tea, so I
This is
promise
true.
we'll be okay.
Well,
Usually we are the bad news, but
I would-
all the more reason to improve your mood with some tea.
Honestly, we probably really could use some tea, and I like look at my burning comrades. Just
And
like,
also a long
Still
rest.
smoldering.
Yeah. Yeah, your clothes are like charred, and several of you have various degrees of burns.
it's been a day, I think.
it's been a cycle, definitely.
Yeah.
We could
Question for
probably
you.
use a freshen up. Do
um,
you set later?
Actually, not a question for her. Were we the only ones who saw the dragon? Did it seem like anyone else in the town thought that anything weird was going on? Because didn't he make it look like the whole place was on fire?
I don't think that was in this town.
yeah,
was
still
still-
that was a
still the
separate
fog.
part
Oh,
of
it
the
was
mist.
separate?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
for some reason I thought it
Because
was
we were
like
heading
the
this
town.
direction, and the like the smoke smell and I think screaming was coming from another direction.
Okay, never mind. Jinarra would know that. Never mind.
Yeah. Around this moment, the water seems to have boiled, so she's gets the kettle off the out of the fireplace and
She picks up her electric kettle,
pours
it in.
everybody a cup of tea. And anybody take sugar or cream in their tea?
I'll take 3 sugars.
Yes.
Do you have local honey?
Yes, I do keep some honey, and she rummages around at some drawers. How many spoonfuls?
How big is the cup?
She shows you.
2, just 2.
Puts in 2 spoonfuls of honey. Anyone else? Sugar, cream, honey?
Yes to all of them, plus some whiskey.
I don't have any whiskey.
I feel like Artemis is such like a frappuccino bitch.
Just adding everything.
Eventually, after getting everybody's sugar, cream, honey, whiskey requests, she serves everybody their cup of tea.
This is delightful.
Why don't we do this more often?
I don't know. You should open a tea shop.
Well, as an apothecary, I, of course, also sell tea leaves, so I always have the freshest tea.
You should like make it for people
You're very
and sell it. You
You're
can make a
very,
lot of money.
you're very kind. Well, now that we got the tea, I suppose there's no more delaying it. There has been a darkness that has moved in on Nevuchar Springs as of late. I've prayed to several gods for aid, and when I prayed to the Raven Queen, I got a vision of you, Elina.
Okay. Uh, Can you tell us a little bit more about what's been going on?
The springs, they've long been a place where someone could purify themselves, purify their souls, bathe in the hot springs and come out a new person. I mean, the motto of the town is never wait to wash away the old you, after all. My mother, Cardina, she's in charge of the local religious order that maintains the springs. We used to get visitors from all over Darkon and beyond the mists themselves. People would come here and bathe in the springs and purify themselves. But as of late, the mists have become more dangerous for Darkon, eating away the very domain itself. Ever since our king disappeared. As a result, travel across Darkon has become more difficult. And with the disappearance of our king, the magical fundament that holds Darkon together has seemed to evaporate. My mother, Cardina, was trying to find a way to solve the issue. And she thinks she found it. She summoned a foul spirit into the springs, who over time has twisted my mother and the others of the order. And it grows more powerful by the day. I believe my mother hopes to replace former King Aslan Rex with this entity. Darkulus Rex, she calls it. Darkulus Rex, well, I don't. Even if my mother is right that this will save Darkon, at what cost? These springs were a sacred place. They've lost those sacred powers, and I fear for what Darkulus Rex intends. Should he be brought back by my mother and the others.
Sorry, so what's happening now that Darkulus Rex is in the springs? People are getting sick, swallowing them, just having bad vibes, headaches, nausea, indigestion,
Upset stomach.
diarrhea.
Well,
Yay, Darkulus Rex.
at first the springs lost their sort of mystical healing properties, and that was bad enough. What little visitors we got dried up, as it were. And then people who bathed in the springs did start getting sick. And I don't know if everybody in town actually knows what's going on, but I do because it's my mother who's behind it.
That sounds very difficult.
How do you suggest we go about handling the situation?
My mother and the others of the order are consistently found in the caves above town, where the source of all the water that our town relies on originates. There they continue to conduct rituals to try to give Darkulus new life. I know they've sacrificed animals. They may have done worse. I don't know. Not privy to all of those meetings. My mother genuinely thinks that what she is doing is for the benefit of all of Darkon. You understand? Darkon is being devoured by the mist right now. But if Darkon's continued existence relies on summoning an evil entity from beyond the grave, I don't know that it's worth it. Perhaps it's time we let go. At any rate. Oh, no, please.
I don't know. I had like a question, now it's gone. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
You traveled through Darkon, through all of Darkon before? Are you pretty familiar with these lands?
I'm fairly familiar.
If we help you remove this dark entity, would you perhaps be willing to serve as a guide as we travel through this place?
Where are you trying to get to?
Well, we've heard stories of the exploding castle. And it seems interesting, to say the least.
You seek Castle Avernus, the home of Aslan Rex.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Is that a problem?
we do seek that.
And Aslan Rex's treasure. The home of Aslan Rex's treasure.
Yeah, we don't want to live there or anything like that.
Yeah, we're not looking to move.
Well,
Yeah, do you have a problem with that? Is there anything we should know?
well, most are too afraid to attempt to plunder the depths of the halls, even if they have the ability. The entire castle hangs in fragments in the sky, or so I've heard. It's also in a different pocket of Darkon, meaning that travel to it would be slow. But I could take you there. Help, yes, if you help me rid springs of Darkulus Rex, I will help you get to Castle Avernus. I would ideally like to remove Darkulus Rex without ending my mother.
Sure.
But she may be too far gone, and that is what it has to come to. That is what it has to come to.
we'll try our best to do that as safely as we can.
Is there like where is your mom? What does she do to communicate with the spirit?
Well, as I said, she and a few of the other members of the order are always frequently up in the caves above town, where the source of the spring water.
What can you tell us about this Darkulus Rex figure, mythology, traditions?
Precious little, I'm afraid. My mother likely knows more. She may have notes on it in her home.
Where does she
Ask
live?
her,
Oh, well, yeah, we could.
but she's up in the cave and
Jumping straight to breaking in and
Well, I mean, if that's okay, like we are gonna try to break into your mother's house.
whatever you need to do.
Okay, can we get her
I
address?
could show you. I could show you where she is.
Great. We may
Perhaps
break
at
into
super chill.
I mean, does someone have any objections or more questions?
No, I say let's go raid her house and then go find them at the little cave.
Maybe we do a little more investigating into the town, its culture, these springs,
Yeah.
before we start committing crimes.
Well, she's telling us that we can go into the house. She said, whatever you need to do. This is what we need to do.
Right, Clancy, could you just excuse us one moment? She's just one woman, right? Like a very nice, attractive woman. I'm just going to pretend you're not here for a moment. I'm just saying.
Why would you throw attractive into
Hang
that?
on.
It's
How,
what I think.
how old are you, half elf?
Ooh,
You're 24, 22, 23?
my God, this has happened like 6 times.
I think you're 24, if I remember right.
Oh no, he's feeling 22.
Ah,
I'm a little put off your question, but I'm of age, if that's what you're implying.
If by of age you mean human standards, it's still cradle robbing. I'm like 300 years old.
and that's why what I'm always telling him. Me, on the other hand, I've always been told I'm very mature for my age as a human. So,
And how old are you?
it's not important. But anyways, could you show us where your
Seems
mother
like
lives?
that would be worse.
Could you show us where your mother lives, and we can investigate the town and then break into your mom's
I
house?
will take you to my mother's house to
Great.
break in the
Great. Thank you.
after the sun sets. If you have anything else you would like to ask or explore around town, by all means. You are also welcome to stay here. Well,
That seems very generous. If you have room for us, that might be nice.
might be.
Plus, we'd all
cramped.
smell pretty good. Do you have a bath?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, we're staying here if that's all right with you. But we're gonna.
I'm gonna go wander.
Do you need any help with cleaning up household chores, splitting
No,
wood, or
No.
anything?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Bowman's also then gonna go wander around until sunset.
Should we perhaps go to the springs and see
Try to talk to
how
her.
it is now? I mean, maybe
I
not-
think we should investigate first if we can get any more information on him.
Yeah,
Dracula
but
threat.
I don't think we should like try to talk, but maybe just go and observe and
Yeah, I'll go with
see
you.
what it's like under the radar.
Sure.
Agreed.
Or do we want to split up?
I don't know. What else do we need to go investigate?
I'm gonna bring into her house to see her little notes. Or
Well, we
could just
can
go-
do that after we investigate the.
We have time.
Yeah, we can.
Valanthe has expressly said she will get you into her mother's house after dark.
Okay.
Does your mom normally spend any time in her house, or like is she always at the spring?
She comes back down into town occasionally, but not frequently. Not since
Sounds like she's in a cult.
darkness. That would be an apt description of what's happened.
I think we could break her out of a cult.
We have a weird relationship with cults, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
I don't know if it's weird.
Do we?
We don't
Nick
like
isn't that-
them.
Nick was in that cult.
What?
Weren't you in a cult?
Yeah, the EPA.
Yeah.
That wasn't a cult.
I thought I was
Let's
a
go
cult. Didn't you guys
pamphlets.
have like weekly meetings and you gave out like information?
We
to
were
members?
trying to get more rights for people.
Yeah, but it was like a cult, right?
Yeah, but there was no like weird leader worship.
I did kind of like
Do
that
not
guy.
think
Wasn't he like
unions
that
are
big guy and you
cults.
kind of always talked to him?
Yeah, as an equal.
I thought you were like his second wife. Didn't he have like a wife and
No.
kids? But you also were like with him, right?
Are you married?
Whoa. This
I
is...
thought we were all on the same page.
No, I was talking about Marivaldi.
Oh, well, yeah, there was also that cult. I'm just saying, we have a history
I
of
still
cults.
have his
Nyx was in
underwear.
a cult. Miravaldi was in a cult.
No, that's Alfonso Alexander's underwear. I didn't get Marivaldi's underwear.
Oh.
That was a
I'm leaving.
What is going on?
I'm
I
explaining
don't
to Alina
know.
about the EPA as we walk out.
Don't listen to a word she says.
Penny proceeds to describe to you a political action organization that she keeps calling a cult, but
And Nyx will just like pop up and interject and be like, "That's not true. No, that's not how that worked."
but given your experience with religion, you think that maybe Penny has
A
a
warped
bad
definition.
on
definition
something.
of cult.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Look at
Penny, do you think we're a cult?
No, because we don't have uniforms.
I didn't have a uniform.
So
Yeah, you would put on a thing before you'd go to the factory, right? Didn't you have
That's-
like a
yeah,
little
but
outfit?
Okay, that was my factory uniform, not
Oh,
my
your other
EPA not my EPA uniform.
But you were in two cults?
Were you in a cult when you worked for the newspaper?
Probably, yeah. We had like weekly meetings, and I was like kind of obsessed with
Oh
Harry
no.
Potter for a little bit.
Penny, are your
Oh, Penny.
brothers who are part of the Sword Coast Federation and have uniforms, are they also in a cult?
Absolutely, they're in a cult.
Fair
Have you
enough.
seen them?
Oh, I
They all
have.
walk in their little lines, and then one guy will be like, "Turn right," and they all turn right, and then he says, "Turn left," and they all turn left. That's a cult.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the Sword Coast Federation.
So you all are outside, you're making your way up.
Do we pass a bookshop?
Roll a d20.
Do you have Webster's dictionary?
10.
Yes.
I'm gonna go in there and buy a dictionary.
Great. 2 gold.
Cool. Penny, I feel like you need this for your job.
I don't have a job. My job is adventuring now.
Okay, well, you still need this for your job.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm adding it to my inventory.
As Nyx hands it to you, would you say you had marked what page
Oh,
Colt is on?
absolutely.
Uh,
And I bookmarked a couple other important pages as well.
as you get
Right,
it,
Union
like,
Rep.
it's already like flipped open to cult, which reads, cult is a term in most contexts pejorative for a relatively small group, which is typically led by a charismatic and self-appointed leader who tightly controls its members, requiring unwavering devotion to a set of beliefs and practices which are considered deviant outside the norms of society.
Penny
Fact
doesn't read
that was
She just
copied and
put it in her
pasted from
backpack.
Wikipedia.
Hell yeah.
Penny just put it in her backpack. She didn't read that.
Anyway, so you guys are trying to go to the actual springs themselves, where Cardina theoretically is.
Presume that's up.
Yeah. Yeah, you follow the paths up to the top of town as the houses sort of fall away. You sort of are just sort of making your way up a winding path on this low grassy hillside. The slope is less severe up here, which has allowed some grasses to actually successfully grow here. You still see, the small streams of this sulfuric water trickling downhill. And eventually you reach sort of the series of caves. And by the mouth of what appears to be the main one, there are, just a couple of elven individuals in sort of, gray tunics, say, well met, travelers. Welcome to the famed springs of Nevuchar Springs. Unfortunately, the springs themselves are not available today, but if you want to relax in the calming waters from the springs, you are more than welcome to partake in them at the Cascana Sanitarium.
Well,
Oh no!
why
Oh,
are
look
the
forward to it.
springs not available? We've traveled from quite far away.
Yes, I understand your disappointment. Yes, unfortunately, we're just taking care of some safety issues inside of the cavern right now. So, but as I say, we are still making sure that the water from the springs gets delivered to the sanitarium.
Is the water
you can
dangerous?
Still partake of their healing practice. No, the water itself is not dangerous. The cave, there's just some structural concerns. Havens, that sort of thing. That's all.
We are kind of a well-known adventuring party, and if you need any assistance or strength or anything, we could help you out with that.
We appreciate it, but we couldn't possibly allow civilians to put themselves in harm's way to shore up the supports in the cave.
Yeah, but we just said we're not civilians.
Yeah, we aren't. We're actually
We are
better than
also for
civilians.
hire too. So
You know what? I will pass that on.
Who's the boss?
Cardina Artaz. Screwing up her name. Cardina Artazas.
So she knows
in charge
everything
of
about the
springs.
springs? She's like the head spring person? Head spring master? Mistress? Sorry.
And that is she, yes. She's the wonderful woman in charge of springs in our town.
Is it true what they say? That the springs will heal you and give you eternal youth and all kinds of wonderful things?
Eternal youth is a little fanciful, but yes, the springs have been known to heal and unveil truths to a person. People, the luckiest people, emerge changed in a good way. As they say, never wait to wash away the old.
The old you. Yeah.
Like physically change? So if I've got a weird blemish, I can dip in the water and away it goes.
The magic of the spring affects everyone. I cannot guarantee that such a blemish would disappear.
Do you get the same effects from the calming waters?
What do you mean by that?
Like, because you're not in the spring.
You mean at the sanitarium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you were saying now. At the spa.
Yeah.
Yes. People have reported similar effects there, yes, but nothing beats bathing in the springs themselves, and that is why I'm so very remorseful that you cannot go in there today. But perhaps in a few days the work will be done and you can come back.
Right.
I want to go investigate the cave.
We will, but not now.
But like invisible.
I'm gonna put my hand on Nyx's shoulder very tight because I can see her fidgeting. And I'm just gonna be like, well, thank you so much for all your information. We'll take this in and hopefully we can go to the cave later. Later, but not now. And I'm gonna grab Nyx's shoulder a little more.
Yeah, you start walking away. The elf says, "Have a blessed day." As you walk back down the hill. Nyx, what you doing?
We're walking down the hill.
Yeah.
Why?
At least wait till we're out of sight before you turn invisible and double back.
No, I was thinking we could go in. You guys, like, some people could go to the spot, and then a couple people go.
Were you gonna say that plan in front of?
No, that's why I was like, oh, we could go in the spa, and then we could talk about it.
We can go to the sanatorium.
So we think Cardina is in the cave, right?
Absolutely.
She's got to be in the cave.
Is Calante with us? Or did we
Not
leave her?
currently, you left her behind.
Okay.
I just want to say, I'm not getting into that water because there is definitely something going on with.
I am absolutely getting into that water. I was gonna say the exact opposite.
Maybe we find out a little more information because we don't need you to become possessed by a demon thing or something.
Oh yeah.
I just want to say, Elina, you won't know anything about this, but like, imagine this, but mind flares, right?
It's so true. The pool.
So maybe not. We survived it once. I don't want to do that again. Actually, that was also like a cult thing too.
That was a cult.
Yeah.
I know what mind flayers are, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
So we've all been in.
No, I was more referring to you the reference that.
No. I understand. I'm just trying to like see how I would react to knowing that you guys dealt with mind flayers.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. We also, I feel like, need to rest at some point.
Yes.
Well, that's why I figured you guys could go to the spa.
I mean, like, sleep. We need to sleep.
Fair.
What time of day is it?
I'd say mid-afternoon.
Oh, okay. So we still have time.
I think we're gonna have a busy night because we're gonna be in the house, her house at night. So maybe we call it an early or take a
Are we gonna
rest.
Try to sleep in her tiny little, like, back room area?
The apothecary?
Yeah.
We have two people that can do a portable dome.
Yeah.
If
I
we
just didn't know if we were gonna pop a dome.
Oh, like in front of the house?
Yeah.
We could also
We
do
it in the
that.
backyard. Like that would be fine. Do we want to like
She
see?
did. I will say that back room is not the only room in the place. That's just the only room you've seen.
Okay.
She said it would be cramped. She didn't necessarily say you'll sleep. You're in the kitchen.
It's warm.
Tips.
It's warm.
Who can stand up in the closet and fall asleep?
Probably Nyx. Nyx could probably lay down in the closet.
That's true.
Well, I mean, I guess if we rest up, I just feel like that was so pointless. Like we went there, they were like, "Oh, sorry, we're closed," and
I mean, I could go back and try to talk to one of them a little bit.
Right, or we could do an invisible thingy. I mean, we're not very far away. We could
If
just
No,
walk
the
down.
invisible thing, don't go in very far.
Or
Sure.
we're going to eventually go in there anyways.
yeah. So wouldn't you want to know what we're gonna see? Like I'm
Yeah.
just thinking scouting mission. Like I'm not gonna go in and mess with stuff. I just want to go like watch.
And that's totally fine. I just don't want you to turn invisible in front of that person.
I wasn't going to.
You are now far enough away that they wouldn't see
Yeah.
you turn.
How why don't two of us go invisible and
Good plan.
in there?
I like
See,
that better than
so-
just-
Here was my other plan. So people go in, they go sit in the baths or not, whatever floats your boat. But I figure the caves can't be that far away, so hopefully it's still within like messaging range.
Is the sanatorium connected to the springs where we were?
How
It's-
far away is the cave mouth to the?
Yeah, it's down the hill. I would say the sanitarium, Katakana Sanitarium is at sort of one of the upper tiers of the community, and it's like the sulfur streams go like pass under it. But so it's still high enough up that it's before they've all split into like a million different trickles. So it's like 4 or 5 solid streams as opposed to a million different trickles that like filter down the through the rest of the town. So it's near the top. In terms of distance, I don't know. I don't know the specific distance. I would say we could probably fudge it and say it's message range.
Man, except for the egg smell, this sounds like a fucking beautiful place.
Yeah.
Do we know if is the egg smell new? Did we ask?
You didn't ask.
All right, we got.
But there are other people out in the street you could ask about the smell.
Excuse me, do you smell eggs?
Oh, you must mean the waters.
Do I? Yes, I must. I
Um,
think we smelled like that.
of course, it's part of the healing properties of
Insight
of the waters here. Make an insight check.
What good smell?
18.
Yes, that's true.
That's I figured, but
Oh, caught me a little off guard. You know, supposed to have this healing, and then it smells a little like.
Well, you get used to it. But yes, that's part of what gives the water their properties.
Artie, you're
Have you
gonna
been in
smell
the
like
water?
eggs.
Have I been in the water? Of course.
You like the water?
Yes, water's very nice.
Did you notice any changes?
I mean, I haven't gone to the sanitarium recently. I
Oh.
live here. I don't go
Sure.
to the sanitarium every
I'm
day.
here.
I'm not a tourist.
I'm not a tourist. Right.
Yeah,
Fucking
I
A.
did it like when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
I've been once.
Every New Yorker in Times Square.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I can't get out of Times Square quick enough.
Right. All right. Well, thank you. Very much appreciate it. Well, obviously we're new in town.
Well, enjoy your stay, and remember, never wait to wash away the.
Old you. Wow.
You're the
that's
second person
getting
to say
old.
that.
Oh wow.
Does he say
That-
it with like a twinge of irony or sarcasm?
Yeah, there's a little bit
Okay,
of sarcasm.
okay.
Sarcasm.
I kind of like this guy.
hey Ben, has everyone we've met or seen an elf?
It's mostly elves here.
Okay.
Yeah, you spot maybe 1 or 2 half elves, but it is predominantly elves here.
Are there any humans? Because where
Yes.
did the half elves come from?
You haven't seen any humans. The half elves.
Uh-oh.
That the half elves could have been the product of a relationship with somebody who's from out of town.
No, that's true.
Someone who's
Oh,
new in
just-
town.
Just to be clear, it seems to be a predominantly elven community.
Are they looking at any of us non-elf or half-elf elf people weird?
No, not really.
So there's no like only
Fair.
elves.
Yeah, no,
It's not
They're-
scary.
you don't seem to be catching any sort of weird looks because you all are, mostly not elves.
Right.
Mhm.
As Quilanthe said, there used to be tourists that came here all the time, so it doesn't seem like the people you're passing in the streets don't seem like they are surprised to see a gnome or a human, a couple humans, or a half orc, or a half elf here.
Yeah.
And then Elina is, an elf, so that's also not unusual.
All right.
Very pale elf, but an elf.
Who wants to come with me and investigate the cave?
I'll come with you. I can
Okay.
also turn myself into
Should probably be someone that can be a little.
You're
if you're going,
quiet
just
now,
each
aren't
other.
you?
I am a little bit more quiet.
Oh, okay.
I have a +5 to my stealth, which
Ah.
is not the worst thing about it.
Should I possibly accompany? Since Cleanthe's vision was including me.
I mean, I know I'm going. If you want to go, it's an open invitation. One thought that I did just have is we still don't know why she had a vision of you, like,
Oh, and not us.
right.
Not to make it about us, but like usually Elina is with us in these days, but
I don't know, I just
No,
Like,
I have
you
the
can
same
come.
question.
I'm like, what if there's something in the cave that like has to do with the
Maybe.
Raven Queen? But then again, you'd be the only one who could recognize that probably. So yeah. Come with us.
Okay.
Are you quiet? You're okay, quiet, right?
I'm not disadvantaged, just
You don't have
Miss-
disadvantage.
I'm not disadvantaged on being
Yeah.
quiet, but
I
I'm
believe
not.
Bowmin does have disadvantage on
I
stealth,
have boots of elven kind, which
Oh.
gives me advantage, so it cancels it out.
so it cancels it out.
Jinarra,
And then if you were invisible,
Jinarra, do you have to be with us?
I'm checking
Cast
that
this?
right now.
Because I'm pretty sure I'd be
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, I think it's a ranged thing. I don't know if it's duration of the spell though.
My D&D Beyond app is just loading spells like this.
Mm.
what are
Hold
you
on.
trying to look at?
That's
Cast
without.
without a trace. Radiates from me.
Yeah.
Nah.
So perhaps I should go, but then this is like most of us now.
Well, we don't all have I was just going to be backup for Nyx in case something happened. So
Do you want to go have a spa day instead, Bowman?
absolutely not. But
Do you want to go watch
You
over
and
the people
Artemis
having
would
a
have a
spa
great-
day?
I'm okay with that as long as we have each other's back.
why don't you want to go to the spa with me and Artie?
That sounds like a fun time.
I can't make myself invisible though.
I
Neither
can
can
make
I.
you.
Can be very
I can
slow.
make one other person invisible.
I can make myself invisible.
Okay, so maybe we do have to, the three of us, Nyx and Bowmin and myself, and
Artie.
Damn,
Artemis.
invisible. I can make 4 people invisible with my high.
wow.
So are
But
we
that's
all
my-
going?
That's my biggest spell.
Hopefully we're gonna sleep before we do anything else though.
So-
I mean, I can also do pass without a trace. You two could be invisible, and I could just like teleport shadow to shadow.
That could also work.
Nyx, do you think?
Yeah,
Like, if you find
theoretically.
Let's think. How far in is Nyx really going to go? We're not doing a full investigation. What if Nyx just goes? I can be nearby for message.
I don't want to bring it up, but last time Nyx turned invisible and went away, there was
Last
last
time
time
Nick
Nyx
started
went
invisible, the DM
It
made a
was not
mistake
my
on the ruling. Okay? Yes. Last time Nick
Was
turned invisible, the
not my
DM
fault.
made a mistake. And she would have been fine. Um,
But it made for a great story.
it did
Great
make for a
lesson in
great
memory for
story.
everyone.
So
It was for the bit in the narrative.
in universe, Nyx can say something to the effect of, she's pretty sure she'll be.
When I cast it on myself, I'll be fine.
Yeah, there we go.
Nyx
Alina, can you-
studied invisibility for the next few weeks to be able to do this.
Can Elina turn invisible?
No.
Okay. Well, do we just want Nyx and Elina to go?
That could
Or
also work.
You want Jinarra because pass without a trace.
Well, doesn't invisibility give you advantage on?
Yes.
So why don't you
Thought
guys
so.
just go?
Yeah.
Artie can stay halfway. The rest of us go to the Santa place, the spot. That way you can message to Artie. Artie can message to me. So we all have message
Well,
capability.
The people who are invisible cannot cast message.
Right,
that's-
but we would be responding to a message.
We can
Not
do two things.
Casting, right?
We're all sitting here having an open conversation in the middle of the street. Let's just hang out and look at the view. Invisible people can go, do their thing, then we can all check out the spot together.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
That works
who's
too.
going in the cave?
Not me.
next.
I am.
And Alina.
Okay.
Okay.
But I need
Great.
someone to turn me invisible.
So
Which
that-
I
yeah.
can do.
Well, how about I turn Elina invisible so that if something happens, I'm aware.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, and then that way you don't have to burn as high a spell slot. Thanks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, hold each other's hands for as long as possible,
Oh.
or figure out some sort of system like bird calls or something else.
Why would you go to birds when you know Nyx is afraid of that?
What?
I'm feeling really, really heard in this group today.
Nyx, I am sorry about the cult comment. In my defense, I thought it was a cult. That wasn't a bad thing. I don't think cults are bad. I just thought you were in one. I thought it was a fun thing. And then
I
also,
just-
weren't you in jail? That could also be like a cult. Oh, Alina, Nyx also was in jail.
You're going
Good
to
luck,
do great.
invisible.
I believe in you.
Alright.
Okay.
With that, Elina and Nyx turn invisible to go investigate the springs. So, Elina and Nyx, the two of you are invisible, now making your way up the hill. I would love for both of you to make stealth checks with advantage for me.
The 18 for me.
Okay.
29.
Wow.
Wow. What's your
You don't
bonus
need
to stealth
me.
checks?
15. No, I didn't need you. I was worried about everybody else.
The two of you make your way back up the hill. You ascend sort of the stone steps. It changes from a wood path to a stone path as you get closer to the caves, which, makes sense. And as you sort of ascend, you sort of pass around the two guys who were standing outside. And you just overhear them saying, like, getting tired of telling people that we're in the middle of a construction project. And the other one says, I know, but Cardina's orders, you know what she's like when you don't do what she says. Well, the first one. Well, even so, I hope they hurry and summon this Darkulus so that we can get back to normal. Once he's off doing whatever it is he's going to do, we can have our lives back.
Interesting.
As you enter the cave, there's a couple of like torches lit right at the entrance. As you pass by them, you sort of have to edge your way around one of the streams that is coming out like through the mouth of the cave. So you have to carefully make your way around it so that you don't splash in the water. But you coming in through the entrance see that it very quickly opens into just a a pretty large chamber, with this large natural spring in the center, that's steaming ever so slightly. It seems to be naturally heated. The water bubbles and the sulfur smell is a lot stronger in here than it was outside. You see a group of 6 individuals sort of gathered around this central spring. There are torches in here. You see several stalagmites in here. 6 individuals are gathered around the spring. They seem to be chanting in a language. What languages do the 2 of you speak?
Common, Elvish, Gnomish, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay.
Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Undercommon.
Okay. So the chanting is not in a language either of you understand. But they are chanting, and Elina, you see tendrils of dark energy coming out of the water and latching themselves onto a woman. An elven woman looks fairly similar to Calanthe. She has dark hair as opposed to Calanthe's blonde hair. And unlike Calanthe's, blonde hair that she keeps in a messy bun, this woman's hair, she just lets it down. She just keeps it down. But there's obviously a family resemblance there. And she seems to be leading the chants. And as the chanting continues, those tendrils of dark energy seem to grow thicker.
Creepy. Is
Wait,
there a way to get around the, like, can we go around the spring? Like,
yeah,
there's-
you can. There's enough room for you to, make a circuit around the room. There do not appear to be other chambers, as far as you can tell, though.
can I? No. No, okay. So they're just chanting, and there's, well, I can't see that there's dark tendrils coming out of the water, right? So, okay.
Okay.
You saw
there-
something like this in your vision as well, just so you know, as a reminder.
Oh yeah.
I know
Okay.
that was a long time ago.
It was
but-
a while ago. I can't remember. Was there anything else from the vision that I'm not seeing right now?
The vision was more abstract, so like the town's recognizable, but not exactly the same as it was in the vision. And the same thing holds for the spring. In the vision, it was only Cardina that you saw. You didn't see the rest of these people there. But there's nothing that you saw specifically in your vision that you do not see now,
Okay.
or vice versa.
Is there anything like else in this chamber
Yeah, is there like a
that like
book?
catches my attention. I guess can I like scan for
Make a perception check.
21.
21. So the Cardina is holding a thick leather tome that she appears to be reading from as she's chanting. You also see sort of a platform. She's on the far side of the spring. You do also see some a platform over there that is blood stained. I would say around this time they all sort of pause their chanting and Calanthe closes the book. And she takes a deep not Calanthe, Cardina, excuse me. And she takes a deep breath and then says, "My compatriots, we grow ever closer to bringing Darkulus Rex back and saving Darkon. Unfortunately, it will require more potent sacrifices."
Once they stop chanting, I'm gonna bring Elina back to the mouth of the cave so that if something happens, we can bolt.
Yep, no resistance here.
One of the others in here says, Ammann, long auburn beard, says, "Cardina, are you sure this is the right course of action? I mean, surely there's another way. I don't want to." Cardina says, "Have faith. Believe me when I say there is no other way to save Darkon. The other pretenders are trying their own methods to create a new Dark Lord. And no new Dark Lord is forthcoming, not if we can't bring Darkulus Rex back. It will require sacrifice. It will require mortal sacrifice. The animals have not proven sufficient. And I know this upsets all of you. Trust me, have I led this community wrong ever before? Trust me. We resurrect Darkulus Rex. We save Darkon. They all sort of murmur and go off to the side and, pull snacks and water out of their bags and take a little break from chanting. Snack time. Snack time from the chanting.
Can I hear any of their conversations?
None of them have anything to say right now. They're all just sort of eating quietly.
Gotcha.
Which would strike you, given your history working in factories, would strike you as none of them feel particularly great about what's going on here.
Right. I'm gonna tug at Alina's hand or shirt or something.
Yeah.
We should probably leave.
Two of you head back down the hill, rejoin your friends.
Do we hear anything from the elven guys on our way back?
More of the same general conversation.
Well, there was a lot of chanting. And apparently now they need to make like humanoid sacrifices to, because apparently they need another Dark Lord. Like, that's how they're gonna save Darkon, is bring an evil person to
Well,
Darkon.
if you've had an evil person before and then everything's falling to shit without them. If you were used
Yeah.
to it.
It just does make me worry about that other place we were.
Right. Is it going to be one of those things where like we stop this Darkulus Rex and then like something worse comes along,
Right.
or also then the town disappears? Because yeah, like
Where
without a
everything
Dark Lord,
catches
they-
on fire.
Right. Without a Dark Lord, won't they like cease to be able to exist? Anyways.
So I've been thinking about this a lot ever since we left for Konya, especially that we learned about how the mist is consuming some of the realms that don't have a Dark Lord. Similar to how Oikos disappeared from our world, is what we're presuming, right? That's what we're presuming.
Think so.
What if these realms of dread are from different realms altogether, and they came with their Dark Lord, or they came from other places?
So what are you saying?
I think the mist itself could be reclaiming it and possibly bringing it back, or
Oh, like putting
getting
it back where it came from.
yeah, or recycled.
So you don't think that getting rid of the Dark Lords is necessarily a bad thing?
That's just a theory. I mean, honestly, I don't have any qualms with getting rid of these bad guys.
Me neither. I'm just worried about the people
Yeah.
that are just living their lives.
But also, the thing is, besides Polkovnia, the mist is traveled. Like, people travel through it without mist talismans. They just don't end up where they're predicting to be. So, like, the mist will just put them somewhere else.
Potentially.
Unless there's some sort of creepy, nasty monster in the mist.
Yeah, we don't know that yet either. That could be true. What if the mist is alive? Man, what if the mist is the monster?
What if the real mist, were the mist we missed along the mist?
I couldn't have said it any better.
Elina, as the person who is most well traveled in the mists, the things that like Bowmin is bringing up are the sort of things that people who study the mist have been trying to figure out for basically forever, as far as you know. You don't know what happens to a domain if it disappears. You don't know if the mist is alive. We'll call it a history check though, to see
Okay.
what you do know.
14? Not great.
Not great.
Not great.
Yeah, I can give you a little bit. Those that really study the mist, that have tried to study its history, are pretty sure there was a point before there were domains of dread, right? Because Ravenloft, the domains of dread are frequently considered to be something of an offshoot of the Shadowfell. And these places weren't in the Shadowfell. You know that. You I would say you also know that, like, most scholars agree, and I may have brought this up before, but most people agree that most scholars of the Mist agree that above sort of everything are a mysterious group of entities called the Dark Powers. And it is the Dark Powers that bring domains into Ravenloft. And it is the Dark Powers that truly control the Mist. And it is the Dark Powers that make someone Dark Lord. But no one knows what they want, what their intentions are, what their purpose is. Are they gods? Maybe. How many of them are there? No one knows. So.
I will share that with the group.
So as far as like confirming or denying any of Bowman's theories, it doesn't do either for any of his theories, but gives a little more context.
I also would just like to say that what was the woman that we met at who owned the apothecary?
Quilanthe.
Quilanthe seems kind of tired of having to deal with these dark lords. I can imagine that's probably a shared opinion for a lot of people here. I mean, Elina, you've been here longer than I have, and hopefully longer than I'll ever be in here. But I think that they don't know what the Mist does, and it's not immediately killing them on contact. What's the harm? That's just me.
It's hard to say. And no matter what happens, no way everybody's ever going to be happy.
Yeah. Well,
We
should...
do need the domain to be around long enough for us to go to the castle.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know that I know that any domains have collapsed immediately.
Well, I mean, it hasn't had a Dark Lord for a while, and it's still kicking.
Yeah. But I agree, we should make this quick.
I mean, humanoid sacrifices is not exactly something we can just ignore. If we can convince them to try something else for their whatever, that's their world. Although our guide has asked us to separate her mother from Dark what's his face.
Dark, yes, Rex.
So do we convince them? Do we?
I don't know that we will be able to convince them until we get rid of the Rex, Darkulus Rex. I think trying to get that out of the equation first before trying to convince them, because right now they're like so deep under that if we're just like, hey, you're doing a bad thing, they're just going to be able to justify everything they're doing.
Well, from what Nyx Elina, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like everyone else isn't super into doing some bad stuff, so it might actually be easier.
Sure, but
Cut the head.
breaking people away from their leader is easier said than done in some cases.
Also, I mean, people with even addictions and such know it's bad for them, but they still do it. So when they're so far under, it's kind of hard to see the surface, you know?
What if we investigate by breaking into this woman's house and learning more information that will help us make more informed decisions?
Wow. What a novel idea.
Such a wise idea.
I'm full of some of
I
those
like
sometimes.
that plan.
Man, Penny, you are a whole new person since you were in Artemis's body.
Why
rubbed
are
up
you
on
making it seem like that experience enlightened me?
It did. You just haven't
it-
realized it yet.
It gave me a cool
Did it
cantrip,
not?
but it also kind of traumatized me.
That's me.
Yeah.
As she says, it gave me a cool cantrip. Artemis, only you see a silver aura very briefly flicker around her.
Huh,
What?
just thinking.
Okay, weirdo.
I think you grew taller.
I was always this tall.
I think you're a little taller.
How tall is Artemis? Sorry. I need to know.
This is, hold on. I have very specific rules written down about this.
Okay.
I am 5'10".
Oh, okay.
What is Penny? 5 flat?
5'4".
5'4"? Okay. Is there anything you guys want to do, or do we want to skip ahead until nightfall to do the break-in?
Can we take like a short rest
Yeah,
between
you
them?
could absolutely take a short rest.
Yeah, I'll play some music for us. Some nice soothing. There once was a very scary place that was actually not very scary. There was a woman who seemed a little mean. But there's ivy and lichen and really nice people. And we were all happy and healthy. And everything was so nice. I'm gonna keep singing. Until someone stops me, it's time to roll some dice.
Incredible.
I
Incredible.
rolled 2 10s.
I'm good.
So that's I believe the Song of Rest or whatever it's
Yeah, I'm
called. So
trying
what
to
does that
find it,
do?
yeah. Would love to be able to tell you. I think you add a D10 or a D8 to your thing, but okay, features and traits. Let's track this
Hang
down.
on, I got it.
1d8 extra hit points, everyone.
Aw.
Is it temp hit points or just added to it?
No,
Wait,
they're-
no,
they're-
it's 1d10 now because you're at least 13th level.
Wow.
Why
Oh
is it-
no, it is 1d8 because
I'm
you're
12
you're
level
12
bard.
bard. And when you're 13 bard, it'll be 1d10, but it's 1d8.
You have the power to change that, Ben, if you really want that.
No, you know what? I'm gonna leave it as is. Good looking out, me and you.
I didn't get a scratch on me.
Oh
So-
yeah, because you're rogue.
I
yeah,
didn't
I
burn through
flattened
my
myself.
temp hit points.
I was hurting pretty bad, but
I was too.
I used like half of my I can do that, right? Like
Yeah, you guys as many hit die as you want.
yeah, I used like almost all of them, and now I feel better.
It'll just take a few days for all of your hit die to recover. So
That's fine.
We
when
don't use them that
Jinarra
often.
no, you
No, we don't.
finishes her short rest, she's gonna give a little speech.
Another one?
Yeah, I get to do it every short rest I take. So
Can I add this to what I already have?
you would put it in the temp hit.
Yeah.
points. So it
It replaces-
replaces your
They
temp.
don't
So
stack.
can I plug my ears if I have more temporary hit points right
Well,
now?
the spell that Artemis cast does not count against your temp hit points.
No, so
I already like
cast-
I had 26 temporary hit points.
those 10 additional
Right.
hit points that I give you can stack with Jinarra's and any other temporary
Right.
hit point. They last for 8 hours.
And it hasn't been 8 hours. Or has it?
It has definitely been 8
Okay,
hours by
okay.
now. So
Well then that was 10, right?
yeah.
We should sleep soon then.
I gave you 17 temporary hit points.
So
Okay.
there you go.
Ooh. Well, then I guess that is better.
Yeah, the thing that Artemis did technically wouldn't go under temp hit points. You would override max HP to give you an extra 10.
But I can't do that.
There's another way to do it on D&D.
Oh
Beyond.
wait,
I've
I
done
see it. I see
before.
it. I see it.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. I see it now.
Anyway, so you all get your 17 extra hit points, temporary hit points.
Nice.
As night falls, Calanthe leads you outside. The colorful lanterns light your way as you make your way across town to Cardina's house. Cardina's house is larger than most of the other houses you've seen, but not by that much. You know, because you know she's in charge, you note that her house is larger. But if you didn't know she was in charge, you'd probably just be like, oh, that is a slightly larger but still modest home. So Calanthe goes to the door. She sort of knocks on it, waits a minute, knocks on it, waits a minute, comes back down to you all. Okay, I think my mother is still up in the caves, so you should be good to head in there. She looks around. There doesn't seem to be anybody out in the street. Passes you the key. I have a spare key. Do you want me to wait for you out here, or do you want to meet me back at the apothecary?
We can.
Oh, you go, Elina.
I think we can meet you back at the apothecary. I'd hate for you to get caught up in something.
Well, I will see you back at the apothecary. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
I also don't want her
I
spying
just-
on us.
Do you mind
Jinarra,
if I
start
did-
over.
Sorry, really quick before you go, do you mind if I disguise myself to look like you in case she shows up?
Wow.
That's fine. Yeah, whatever you need to do.
Before we go in, I'm gonna cast see invisibility
Mm.
just to see if she's got any hidden.
Starkless Rex is just Jay chilling in the living
Right.
room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I would also like to cast Divine Sense as well.
Okay. When you cast the invisibility, Nyx, as you do, you sort of glance around. There's, these sort of sulfuric streams still rolling down the hill. As you glance over at one of them, you see tiny wisps of dark energy coming off of them.
Oh, that's weird.
Divine Sense, Bowmin, gives you undead, fiends, celestials, and fae. Is that correct?
Celestials. I don't think Fae. I think it's just Celestials, Fiend, and Undead.
Okay. So, you sort of, look around, you open yourself up to your divine sense, and you sense this vague undeadness sort of in the area, but there's no like specific point of it. You don't see sort of these wisps of dark energy that Nyx does with the sea invisibility, but you get the sense that there is some undead entity that has infected the water.
Cool. Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't get in there when we went to the spa.
Yeah. Oh, before Quilanthe gets too far, I'm gonna be like, your mom doesn't have any like alarms on her door, right?
Not as far as I know. I don't think she knows the alarm spell.
And no like traps or any like there's not a weird like thing that she does when she unlocks the door.
No, not as far as I know. I mean, I unlock the door. I don't do anything.
Okay.
The key I gave you is my spare key.
Just making sure. Okay. And then before anybody does come along the street, we should probably go inside.
So I'll flare a detect magic just to be safe. Keep that up
Sure.
and running.
Yeah. You also get a complicated mix of magic from the water. At a base level, the water seems to have a natural divination magic to it. Well, I actually don't know what school of magic divination is. Divination's not a school, so hold on.
Are the people drinking this water?
It is a school. It's a natural school of divination it's a natural like divination magic from the water. But layered on top of it, almost obscuring this natural divination magic of the springs, is necrotic magic.
Ooh.
That's a confusing little combo. Oh. All right. I will just pay attention to specifically anywhere people are going to be stepping and or doors being opened.
Yep. As you enter the house, easy enough to do because you have the key. You find yourself in a small sort of sitting room, very simple, seems very calm. There's an upstairs, there's a few other rooms here on the first floor. Whoever wants to can go ahead and make me an investigation check.
I'll do it.
And
Oh, yeah.
What sorts of things you're looking for?
Cult shit.
Cult shit.
Ooh!
Magic items.
Magic items, great.
I got a natural 20.
Me
Wow.
too. For 27.
Wow, 27 for magic items. What's the total for
33.
33?
Holy cow.
Holy shit. Okay. All right. Really great rules here. So you both
Give us everything. Give us an itemized list of what you have in our house.
yeah, for sure. You both turn this place upside down.
But also put everything back.
But also put everything
Right.
back exactly where you found it. So Elina, you, I would say, find actually, I'm gonna have to get back to you about what you find.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get back to you. Nyx, you find her journal. You do have to unlock a locked drawer, but because you got a natural 20 on the investigation, I'm not even gonna call for a check to unlock the drawer. You unlock the drawer, you get the journal, you read through it very thoroughly.
It's not in a weird language.
Not in a weird language. You are able to discern what it says easily. And you learn the following information. So, Cardina, as the leader of the sort of mystical religion in this place, would often bathe in the pools in order to receive visions. And she received an apocalyptic vision once from having received this vision, she delved into secret libraries where she discovered writings alluding to the land and the ancient and their reliance on one another. This research led her to come to the conclusion that Darkon needed not only like a mere ruler, it needed somebody to truly assume the mantle of Dark Lord, not just in name, but in spirit. Darkon needed, in her words, not just a ruler, but a heart. Now, Azalin Rex had been ruler of Darkon for as long as anybody in Darkon could remember, and most thought he was Darkon's only ruler. But Cardina's research turned up the name of Darkulus Rex, who was supposedly the first king of Darkon. Cardina believed that by resurrecting Darkulus Rex, they could automatically get another Dark Lord because he had served in that position before. So she worked out a series of magical and chemical processes and managed to summon a fragment of Darkulus Rex's spirit. And she now dedicates the resources of what they call themselves the Eternal Order. She now dedicates their resources to a necessary evil, nurturing this reborn tyrant in order to bring him back. And she writes that it is becoming more and more stressful as he demands greater and greater magics and greater sacrifices to complete his resurrection. So,
Wow. I can't believe people just write down all this shit.
Well, they have to get it out somehow.
I guess it's a good way to cope.
Do you not journal?
Dude, I barely had an education.
I can
Yeah.
teach you to journal. My journals are very good.
Yeah.
I barely had an education, but I write all my fan fiction, which is basically
What's fan
journal.
fiction?
That's where I write about all of you guys, but in like fictional situations. I've told you about this before.
Oh, I
read
do
through-
remember this. I remember feeling uncomfortable. Okay.
Well, it's like
did
how I
read the
journal,
book.
express myself. So
Also, Penny, you have a job in journalism. Of course you journal.
yeah, I get that's okay. All right, we'll get on that.
So
Less egregious than believing everything's a cult. Because believing journalism is just journaling.
that's that's a great point.
And that's Penny Presswell logic.
Yeah.
You know, it is interesting. I presume Nyx has shared all this with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting that she's getting more stressed. Like, if there was another solution presented, maybe
She'd go for it.
give up Ghost. Like, I don't know if there was a band of adventurers that were going to brave the very scary dark castle that holds a lot of secrets and could find more information.
Mm.
You could hold off, stop sacrificing people if she's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we should have a contingency plan in case she doesn't care.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Elina, roll a D100 for me.
Okay.
Is she gonna come back?
Divine intervention.
Yes. Queen,
fine.
tell us what to do, Raven Queen.
90 flat.
90. Okay. Roll 1d4 for me.
Oh my god. Wait, that's not a 4.
Scary.
This is a
How
4.
many birds are gonna be in this room?
2.
2. Okay. So you're gonna roll 1d100 again twice.
What?
We're
Okay.
determining what magic item she has randomly.
Ah.
17,
17
96.
and 96. Okay. 17 and oh my god, 96. Okay.
Fucking deck of many things. Do it. Do it, you
Great.
coward. Deck of many things.
So 17, you find you have to have Nyx unlock this like chest for you, but it seems like Hardina has sort of a locked cabinet where she keeps things that travelers have abandoned. And after Nyx gets you in there, you're sort of looking around at what is in here, and you you find 2 magic items that catch your attention. First is an extremely nice blade. This one is called the Sword of Answering. It's a very fancy sword. It has an emerald in its hilt, and I will require somebody to cast Identify on it to learn exactly what it does. But really nice looking sword. You also find a sphere of dark energy
Oh,
that is surrounded by a magical force field.
Okay.
alright.
That's all the description we get?
What kind
You're
of
gonna have to cast
what
Identify
kind
to
of
find out
magic
more
is
about it.
this force field?
Abjuration, powerful abjuration.
Ooh, be careful touching that.
Bowmin,
Hmm?
are you comfortable storing this?
Wait, let me take a look at it.
Oh, do we have time?
If I cast it, it'll take a minute.
Here you go.
Okay.
We can keep a watch out the window.
I
Yeah.
cast Identify.
I'm gonna pay attention to the items in case I need to contain something, but
So you cast Identify. This is a relatively large sphere. It's a black sphere. And it's got this magical field around it, stabilizing it. But as you put your hand towards it to cast Identify, you get the immediate sense that you shouldn't touch the sphere directly. You
Okay.
think the field would allow you to pass your hand through the field and touch the black sphere itself, and you know you shouldn't do that, which is a good thing, because you learned that this is a sphere of annihilation.
Oh, Jesus.
This 2-foot diameter black sphere is a hole in the multiverse, hovering in space and stabilized by a magical field surrounding it. The sphere obliterates all matter it passes through and all matter that passes through it. Artifacts are the exception, unless an artifact is susceptible to damage from a sphere of annihilation. It passes through the sphere unscathed.
I would like to test this.
So it's the black
and-
hole.
Yes.
I want to.
Anything else that
throw
touches
something
the
at it.
sphere but isn't wholly engulfed and obliterated by it takes 4d10 force damage. The sphere is stationary until someone controls it. If you are within 60 feet of an uncontrolled sphere, you can use an action to make a DC 25 Intelligence Arcana check. On a success, the sphere levitates in one direction of your choice up to a number of feet equal to 5 times your intelligence modifier, minimum of 5 feet. On a failure, the sphere moves 10 feet towards you. Any creature whose space the sphere enters must succeed on a DC 13 dexterity saving throw or be touched by it, taking 4d10 force damage. If you attempt to control a sphere that is under another creature's control, you make an intelligence arcana check contested by the other creature's intelligence arcana check. The winner of the contest gains control of the sphere and can levitate it as normal. If the sphere comes into contact with a planar portal, such as that created by the gate spell, or an extra dimensional space, such as that within a portable hole, the GM determines randomly what happens using the following table. And I will not tell you what's in the table.
Are any of us
sometimes
smart enough for this?
Go.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I don't think I
Did we
think
just put this one
let's
back?
put this back in the box. But maybe let's hide the box so that she doesn't remember where it
Well, it's in a
is.
big wooden chest.
Yeah. But I don't want her bringing that to
You
like
also don't. Yeah, okay. You close it. Do you take the sword?
yeah.
Okay, you close the chest.
That's
You.
interesting.
What are you? How do you move this chest?
Bowman does it.
How do you move the chest?
How do I
Don't
move this chest?
How do you
touch
move the
it,
chest?
Right? Because
Well, the chest. The
the
sphere
chest
is
is
inside
closed.
the chest.
Yeah. Okay.
So Bowman can move
Be
the chest.
very careful.
Okay. Are you lifting it up, Bowman?
Does it fall out of the bottom of the chest?
Are you lifting it up, Bowman?
Has Nyx told me all this information?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
No.
We should probably, let's take a look at this sword. Sure, she's thinking of killing people, sacrificing them. We don't know anything that this person's ever done wrong. We are technically not robbing them. We have a key to their house.
We're borrowing.
According to
swords.
most laws, we haven't committed crimes yet.
We have not
we
left
are-
with her possession.
We are technically breaking, not breaking.
Nothing's
in.
broken. We have
Well,
a key.
that's not
Insurance.
techni-
An insurance company would fight this.
To answer your question, I feel like Bowman. I have the really role play right here. I feel
Yeah.
like Bowman would probably just try to heave.
As Bowman lifts the chest up, a hole is formed in the bottom of the chest by the Spear of Annihilation, which stays exactly where it was floating, and everything else falls out of the hole in the bottom of the chest.
How did Elina move it? Did she just?
Elina didn't move it. She
Oh.
opened it
no,
and
we
saw
just
it in
looked
there.
at it.
Oh, okay.
Let's just leave that where it is and
What?
put
Yeah.
put it back.
Put the
He's gonna
chest-
know we were
just
here
put it
now.
back.
Yeah, we'll put the chest over.
Yeah, put the chest
Okay.
back down over.
Hmm?
Over.
I'm gonna get on the floor and be like, okay, yeah, along the
I was
left.
gonna
along
say
the
I need a
left.
roll for athletics to make sure I get it perfectly down. Like,
Yeah.
With
I think
advantage
that'd
because
good.
I am helping.
Yeah.
I'm directing.
Yeah, athletics with advantage. Let's call it. Yeah.
Okay.
How does this just exist in this woman's house?
She must have
Probably
taken
just had
control of
that
it
thing.
to move it here.
Yeah, who does she know, or is she powerful enough to
That's a
move the
25.
thing to her own
A
wardrobe?
25, easy enough. You get it back down over.
So
Put the
before
stuff back in it that spilled out when the hole was made.
Before we
One like
Those-
dagger gets vaporized, but
Whoops.
before we
I
say
take
no
one out
to
of
the-
my bag.
and put it.
Before we say no to the death orb, think of the potential. All right. Like,
Bowman,
How are we going
No.
to bring it?
smart enough to move it.
I could probably think of a couple people.
We need a 25 Arcana. We need to be very, very good at Arcana. And I don't know about you guys. I'm like, okay, but I'm not that good.
-1.
I'm
I
no
got a
uptake.
3.
I only have a +2.
So
Honey, what's you-
Nyx,
I can't get there. Even if I roll a nat 20. We lost our wizard. Our wizard could probably have done it, but we don't
Bring
have
her name
Octavia.
up. You know how I get when you bring her name up.
Sorry.
She didn't
I
even
didn't
say her name.
I know, but I knew just from you saying it. And I was
Sorry.
thinking about it. Now I'm sad.
Sorry. We don't have anyone who is good enough at magic to do this.
I'm going to just leave it alone then. We should probably wrap it up because I feel like there's a giant entity rolling dice to see.
I
what's
don't
going
know
on.
what you're talking about.
So we should probably.
Yeah, let's
Good
get
call.
out.
Let's leave.
I'm gonna peek out the door.
Are
Make a
I'm
perception
keeping
check.
sword? Are we leaving
And-
this
We
sword?
should take the sword. Yes.
Janara is keeping watch, so
Yeah,
'Cause I would
Jinarra
like
make
her
a
daughter.
perception check as well.
yeah,
Perception?
I don't see anything.
My perception got better with my level up. That's exciting.
Oh, bless you. You've got
Oh,
to
yay.
inspire you. You're inspired,
I don't think
regardless,
I
if you want to
need
use it
it.
or not.
I don't need it. I got 33.
Alright. Coast is clear for now, so you all are able to leave, lock the door back up, and return to Quilanthi's place. And you did take the sword, yes?
Yes, and once we get back there, then I'll identify that one.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ritual cast it because we're not.
Yeah.
In. Okay.
In the safety of Quilanthi's abode, you learn that this is sort of answering, specifically the answerer. And you gain a +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this longsword.
+3?
+3. It's a +3 longsword. In addition, while you hold the sword, you can use your reaction to make one melee attack with it against any creature in your reach that deals damage to you. You have advantage on the attack roll. Any damage dealt with the special attack ignores any damage immunity or resistance the target has. This sword does require attunement.
Ah,
Is it a heavy weapon too?
It's a long sword, so it's not a
Longsword?
heavy weapon.
Oh, okay.
It also so it's called the Answerer. It does require, it can only be attuned by someone with a chaotic good alignment.
Ooh.
Oh god, how do you check your alignment?
that's me.
I'm also chaotic good.
I feel like that makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense. Why are we always end up paired next to each other doing things?
And then not doing well at them because we're too chaotic.
But your heart's in the right place.
Our heart is in the right place.
Now longsword, it is a longsword, as I said, so it does require proficiency in longswords.
Yeah, martial weapons.
Or martial weapons. I believe Penny would be proficient in it, but doesn't have any strength, which a longsword uses.
I have one strength.
Actually,
Actually,
I have -1 strength. Never mind. Sorry. I thought I had more. Never mind.
Artemis, what is your?
I am chaotic. I thought I could do it. I am chaotic neutral.
I am. Oh, Bowmin is also chaotic neutral.
I can use it. I have proficiency in longsword. So
You would not be able to apply sneak attack with that weapon.
I don't know why I'm
Yeah.
surprised that everyone has chosen chaotic.
What do you
I'm
have?
neutral.
The most.
True neutral.
I'm
Nice.
true neutral too.
is it a two? It's not a two-handed weapon, is it?
It
It
is
can be.
versatile, so it can
So
be.
it can be. Okay.
But it is not finesse.
But I could have it in my offhand and do 2-weapon fighting.
No.
I
No?
don't think it's
Weapon fighting is light and finesse.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You don't.
That's right.
It's
That's
not a
right.
light weapon.
Okay.
So I just want,
here's the thing though. I did just consider taking the change alignment spell.
Well,
So maybe we come back to this.
yeah, you've got a
It's
really
here.
powerful magic sword now. It's called the Answerer. Whoever wants to put it in
I'll
your
put it in my inventory and
so that you remember you have it.
but I
And
want
then
to
we'll
to it.
forget for 7 sessions.
And
That's
Ben
what you
says,
get
"Check your
when I
inventory."
didn't have magic items planned into place, but you rolled a nat 20 and I wanted to reward it. So you
Thanks.
roll for the magic items you get.
I do want to see how Nyx is going to carry a long sword.
Okay, fair.
It just kind of
Well,
like drags.
Being a magic weapon, it does shrink
yeah.
to someone's
Yeah.
proportionate
Oh,
size.
okay.
Yeah. It does.
That's good. You know what I need to use? I need to use my my actual like finesse fancy weapon that I have, and yeah, I need to use that more.
God.
Okay, so we go back to the
Apothecary.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, back to
We
apothecary.
yeah.
We just fucking legendary item on a whim.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, that was the 2. The 96 was the Sphere of Annihilation. So
If only we could have taken it with us.
yeah. If only.
I think on the way back, Bowmin, that is what he's saying the entire time. He's like, we could have figured it out.
Okay,
Just
so
could've figured it out."
I will tell you, by the way, the if you wanted to try to put it in the portable hole, you would have to roll it. I would have rolled a D100, or you would have rolled a D100, and one of the following 3 things would have happened. The sphere would have been destroyed. That's option 1. The sphere successfully moves into the portable hole. That's option 2. Option 3 is a spatial rift sends each creature and object within 180 feet of the sphere, including the sphere, to a random plane of existence.
Oh god.
Amazing.
Maybe that's how we get home.
Yeah.
Only some of us.
Maybe
get
that's
home.
how we find Oikos.
Yeah.
That's Bowman's retirement plan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway. Yes, you are back in Calanthe's place. You've identified the magic sword. You've got yourselves sort of settled in for the night. Is there anything else anybody wants to do before you turn in to take a long rest?
I'm just gonna get my familiar back.
Oh, that I'm going to also I'm gonna summon
Yeah.
Haze.
Easy enough, you guys can do that.
Oh, yeah, my bird's been flopping around somewhere.
Yeah.
He knows. He knows to stay outside.
Yeah.
Does he? The poor bird.
He loves his solitude.
Yeah. For sure. You all go.
I'll try to, not necessarily for night. No, what am I trying to say? Not necessarily with folks, but I'm just gonna like, if there's a fireplace or something, if I need to set up a little fire out back or something, I'm just gonna take a moment staring into flames and consider how shitty things have been lately.
Yeah. As you do, you're sitting in front of sort of this wood fire stove in the corner of this like living room that you all are crashing in. You know, Calanthe's brought out like lots of blankets and pillows and stuff for you all to sort of make yourselves comfortable in, and you're sort of staring into the fire in this wood fire stove. And Elina, you know, you're meditating, so you see him doing this. I don't know if you would be inclined to check in on him or just let him be.
I think I'll let him be tonight and maybe check in the morning.
Okay. Eventually, Artemis, staring into the fire, you nod off to sleep. And as you do, you find yourself in a familiar dreamscape with the silver flame in front of you. And with that, we will end tonight's episode. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night, everyone.